Alright guys, so I'm going to share some tips that I've learned backpacking around New Zealand for the past 4 months. There are 3 main things that will bleed your finances dry if you're not careful. Gas, accommodations, and food. If you're low on dinero, then getting by may be difficult, but not impossible, so I'm going to show you how to do it. HelpX or Help Exchange is a help exchange website that is kind of like woofing but offers a lot more flexibility and there's just a lot more variety with jobs. The past 4 months that Ling and I have been backpacking around New Zealand, we've worked a total of 4 HelpX jobs, ranging from working at a bed and breakfast, a backpackers hostel, working at a heritage rose garden, and currently we are now in the Coromandel working at a friggin' awesome tapas restaurant. The obvious perk being we get to taste the gourmet food and sample some beast wine. So the HelpX database of hosts is worldwide. So it's a lot. The HelpX database of hosts is worldwide, allowing you to work in exchange for food and lodging anywhere in the world. You may work in between 2 to 4 hours a day, depending on the job, giving you ample time to do some sightseeing on the side. Or you can even work a paid job to supplement your income. While working in Hastings, Ling and I would work our mornings at a blueberry farm picking blueberries, making some sweet money, like actually seeing money go into our bank accounts. And then in the afternoons, we'd work 2 hours doing some cleaning around the house, and then that would cover our HelpX duties, covering our accommodations with food. The length of the job can be as short as a couple of days, or can go as long as a couple of months, depending on the requirements of the host. But because of this, the flexibility of the HelpX jobs is extremely convenient for backpackers that are currently on the move, that are looking for work, but have very particular availabilities. You left your phone on the other beach. See what happens? Registration. The HelpX... Okay. Registration. For 20 euros, you're signed up for 2 years, and that gives you access to the entire international database of HelpX jobs. Like I said, it's not just New Zealand, this is worldwide. What you can do is you can read reviews that previous workers have left on those hosts for previous jobs. So you can see all the nasty stuff that hosts have made them do. And you can also see which hosts are worth checking out. And Ling and I have carefully selected our jobs based on what people have left as reviews prior. And so far, every job, 4 out of the 4 that we've taken have been amazing. The hosts have been really great, the accommodations have been great, the food has been great, and every single time we've had to leave a HelpX job, it was like leaving behind our family.
Okay, we get it. You left your phone at the beach.
Freedom camping. There are 2 apps that'll be very beneficial for you if you're looking to do some freedom camping. If you don't know what freedom camping is, it has the word free in it. It's basically free camping. New Zealand has a shit ton of free campsites put in place by the Department of Conservation, and they take extreme pride in making sure that backpackers use these free campsites because they don't want to hinder the communities and the towns of populations of New Zealanders that would otherwise find backpackers a nuisance. So they've created these freedom campsites. To access this database of freedom campsites, you have 2 main apps. The one that I use all the time is the Rankers app, which you can download in the App Store. A second one, which is also good, is Campermate. Rankers lists the locations of all free and paid campsites for both self-contained and non-self-contained vehicles. Take advantage of this app because it could be the difference between paying $30 per person to just park your car somewhere and set up a campsite at a mobile park, or having a free night. I mean, if you're 2 people, it could be saving you $60 worth of accommodations, which you would otherwise be paying to a holiday park. But one thing to remember if you decide to do some freedom camping is that it is extremely popular amongst the backpacking community, so you want to show up early enough to make sure that you can secure a spot and that you're not stuck trying to find accommodations at 10 o'clock at night. When it comes to getting around New Zealand, you have 3 main options, which I'm going to sum up. Option 1 is you get a car, but getting a car is expensive and petrol is even more expensive. The price of petrol here hovers above or below $2, which is considered cheap for New Zealanders, but extremely expensive for an unemployed Canadian. Option 2, intercity. Using the intercity bus network is cheaper than getting a car, but it still costs you money, and that's not what this video is about. So my third option is ride sharing. Linked below is a Facebook members page called Backpackers New Zealand. Check it out. There are a lot of backpackers that use this as their hub when communicating with other backpackers, when trying to find other people that are willing to ride share with them. So this could be people that are looking for rides out that don't have a car, or people that do have a car and have an empty space that are willing to take a backpacker with them. Another piece of advice is when you're staying at a hostel, check the message boards and ask around. You're going to meet a lot of backpackers when you're going around, and you're going to realize that New Zealand is a very transient country and backpackers are constantly on the move. You'll meet a backpacker one day and they'll be staying one night at that campground or hostel. The next day they're out of there. Finding a ride is going to be a lot easier because of the entire backpacking culture, which makes up a huge percentage of New Zealand. Okay, I'm going to throw this last and final option out there, but you have to use this option at your own discretion. Hitchhiking. First, let it be known that neither Ling or myself have hitchhiked a day in our lives. That being said, we've spoken with a ton of backpackers that came to New Zealand with the sole intention of hitchhiking around, and I haven't heard a single negative thing about it. I met a solo female backpacker. Solo female backpacker who was using hitchhiking as a means to getting around the entire North and South Island. She was able to hitch a ride from Dunedin all the way to down to the Catlins, and not only that, she was able to get a ride with that same person to bring her back to Dunedin. This other backpacker that we met in Tongariro told us that he was able to hitch a ride from Christchurch all the way to Abel Tasman. That's like a 473 kilometer drive. But again, use your discretion when it comes to hitchhiking. One other thing that I learned from other backpackers is to have a certain set of rules when you're hitchhiking. One of those being have a cutoff time. If it's getting late, then make it a rule upon yourself that you're not gonna hitchhike anymore, that you're gonna try to find a hostel or a campsite to camp. Set some rules for yourself and respect them, especially if you're a female solo backpacker. Thanks guys for watching. Be smart with your money and you'll be able to get the most out of your backpacking trip. But if you do make a couple of bad decisions, let's say you go to Queenstown and you spend all your money on jet boating or bungee jumping, then at least you have some options and you won't be stuck up creek without a paddle.